Hey guys, it's the Sports Fan Network, and I'm Andrew.
And I'm Travis.
Well, NFL free agency is officially on the way, and man, the first big domino is officially fallen. Kirk Cousins, quarterback formerly of the Washington Redskins, has signed a 3-year, $84 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings. And if you didn't know, all 84 million of those dollars are guaranteed. So there's not a single way that Kirk Cousins can get out of the Minnesota Vikings can get out of that deal in the next 3 seasons. They are officially going all in on a Super Bowl now. And man, this is just a monumental signing. We haven't seen in the modern day NFL free agency era this type of guaranteed money really at all. This might be a trend-setting deal for future quarterbacks in the future. Travis, what are your thoughts on Kirk Cousins going to the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, before free agency started, Kirk Cousins said he prioritized winning over money, and that's exactly what he did. I think out of the 4 teams left, he chose the best team available in the Minnesota Vikings, who just have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're very stacked on offense. Once Dalvin Cook comes back from injury, they have Adam Thielen, they have Kyle Rudolph, they got Stephon Diggs. They have a very good offense. And the Vikings, they won free agency by signing Kirk Cousins. Yes, they had to guarantee all of his money, but they got an upgrade at the most important position on the football team, which is the quarterback position. So this has to be a win for the Vikings because besides maybe offensive line and adding a few more defensive linemen, there's not too many problems on this Vikings squad. They're pretty good all the way around, and they're able to add the best available free agent quarterback. So this has to be a win for them.
Yeah, this is a huge upgrade for the Vikings. Nothing against Case Keenum, who had a phenomenal season last season. But Case Keenum, for me, he was a one-year wonder. He had a lot of success under Pat Sherman, the offensive coordinator. He's no longer there. So Kirk Cousins comes in, and I just feel like he's not maybe an elite franchise quarterback, but he's in that top 10 to 15 range discussion area right there. And when you have that type of quarterback on the market, you go out and get him, and you pay whatever you need to get him. Quarterback position, for me, it doesn't matter how much you pay. If you find a guy that you believe in that can win you games, it doesn't really matter how much money you have to put in to get that guy. You go get him. And the Vikings did that here. And this totally reshapes everything in the NFC for me because really the only need that the Vikings had was the quarterback position. Do they have a great defense? Yes, they have great pass rushers, both filled with veterans and young players on really good deals. They have a great safety in Harrison Smith. They have a great corner in Xavier Rhodes. They just have about everything you want on the defensive side of the ball, including Anthony Barr, the linebacking core. A very good mix of young players, veteran players. It was just a perfect story. And then when you go into their offensive side, Stephon Diggs on one side, Adam Thielen on the other. 2 very good wide receivers, one of the best wide receiving duos in all of football. They have Kyle Rudolph at the tight end position, being a safety valve in the middle. They have an improved offensive line. They get Dalvin Cook back for next season at the running back position. Now is the time to officially go all in when you have the cap space to do so. And just, man, this is a big-time move in the NFC North and the NFC in general. The Minnesota Vikings were this close to really being in the Super Bowl last season. They just needed that a little bit more better quarterback play to really make that difference. And I think they found it here in Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, this is an interesting move because now I think with the addition of Kirk Cousins, this makes the Vikings the favorite in the NFC North. And this puts them, in the elite top 3 in the NFC. It raises the question, Andrew, do you think they are the top overall team in the NFC?
Well, I don't think they're the top favorite in the NFC just because there's at least 4 or 5 teams I think that could realistically say that is the top favorite to be the NFC champion next season. When I look at the Saints, who re-signed Drew Brees, they have the best running back duo in the conference, and they have a really good rising defense to kind of complement that offense. When I look at the Rams, who are making moves in the offseason, the Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl, they're still making moves. And, oh, by the way, they get Carson Wentz back. So I think they got to be in the discussion. And then I can't rule out the Green Bay Packers because they're getting Aaron freaking Rodgers back. So the NFC, the biggest takeaway I got from this was that the NFC is absolutely stacked. And if you're going to come out of the NFC, boy, you earned it next season because there's at least 5, 6, 7 teams that has a legitimate shot of going to the Super Bowl next season, which in a lot of seasons I really can't say that is the case. But next year, man, it's just going to be a bloodbath in the NFC. And whoever wins the NFC is not going to be necessarily the best team, but the best survivor, because all of these teams have a legitimate chance of winning this thing. And, man, it's just going to be a struggle, I feel like. But Kirk Cousins, he gives the Minnesota Vikings as good a chance as any of these other teams. If they would have re-signed Case Keenum or maybe tried Teddy Bridgewater or Sam Bradford or tried to maybe draft a rookie quarterback, it just wouldn't be the same. Kirk Cousins gives them a legitimate franchise-level quarterback at that position who throws 4,000 yards in a season in his sleep. He can give you 25 touchdowns. He does a pretty good job of taking care of the ball, and he's just got a lot of talent around him now to really bring out his talent, I feel like. Just a big win for the Vikings overall.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's very consistent. You know what he's going to get. You know what you're going to get from him. And I feel like if you're a GM, it's better to be aggressive than play it safe. And that's what the Vikings GM did. Casey Keenum, he had a very good season, but that was the only good season he's had in the NFL. If they went and gave him, a contract like the Broncos are reportedly handing him, and it doesn't work out, then that would cost them jobs in the front office. And I just think I like this play. I like them being aggressive, going after Kirk Cousins. I think it will put them over the edge. I think it's got to put them, in Super Bowl contenders. So I like them being aggressive. If they want to, try to play the safe option with Teddy Bridgewater, where I don't know how great of a quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is going to be, especially after that knee injury. There's a lot of question marks for him. There was a lot of question marks for Sam Bradford. So the Vikings, they had a very difficult quarterback decision, but I feel like they made the right decision in signing the best free agent quarterback on the market. The Vikings are going all in. They want to win a title. They almost made it to the Super Bowl last year. I think the addition of Kirk Cousins, that puts them another step closer to reaching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and for anyone who wants to really say that Kirk Cousins maybe doesn't deserve the money that he's getting paid and really wants to bring up his stats as a reason for this, his stats have been going down over the past few seasons, but I think you got to really take into account the fact that the offensive line was in shambles for the Redskins last season. Pretty much every starter injured at some point last year. Their offensive line was a mess. They lost all of their weapons basically to free agency. Now that he's in a better situation in Minnesota, man, I just feel like he's just going to have a really good year for the Minnesota Vikings. And, man, this is going to be very exciting in the NFC for sure. Man, Kirk Cousins going to this team, it adds a new layer of just, like, what the hell is going to happen now in the NFC. You just don't know what's going to happen now. He's a very interesting situation here with Minnesota, and this is what the NFL offseason is all about. Man, I can't wait for the NFL season to start, man. I'm getting pumped.
Yeah, it just adds to the story today. It's just been a crazy, hectic day in the NFL. It's been a lot of fun to try to follow what's been going on. There's been so much players going to new teams. It's been very exciting to watch. But that's our thoughts on Kirk Cousins reportedly going to the Minnesota Vikings. Let us know in the comments below. Do you think Minnesota overpaid him? Do you think this is a good deal? Do you think Minnesota is the favorite to win out of the NFC? Let us know in the comments below what you think. We want to hear what you guys have to think. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Yep, thanks guys for watching. And stay tuned for some more videos for free agency. They're going to be coming fast, man. There's going to be a lot of things to talk about for free agency. Lots of new players going to new different teams. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. So thanks guys for watching.